Okay, today I am going to take up one example of the pronouns. So this is for 4 marks. You are supposed to write the noun forms of these pronouns. Okay, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಏನನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದು ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಇದು ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲನ್ನು ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈ ಮದರ್ ಲಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಭಜನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಿಚನ್ ವೈಲ್ ಶೀ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಫುಡ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆಥರ್ ಬರೀತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅವರು ಭಜನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಮೈ ಡಾಗ್ ವಿಕಿ ಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಡೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಿಚನ್. ತಾವು ಸಾಕಿದ ನಾಯಿ ಬಾಗಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನಿಫ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ವಾಸನೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ದ ಅರೋಮಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಘಮ ಅಂತ. ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್, ನಾಲಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಟಿಲ್ ಶಿ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಹಿಮ್ a piece of what she is preparing. So here you have to write this 1 2 3 4. This is given like that. Don't write anything from here. Examination ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಬರೆಯೋ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರಿಬೇಕು, 1 2 3 4 ಅಂತ. Now you understand what they are. She, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈ ಮದರ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಆಥರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಮದರ್, ನಾಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮದರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಶಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಮದರ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಥರ್ಸ್, ನೋಡಿ ಆಥರ್ಸ್, ಹೀಗೆ ಆಥರ್ಸ್ ಮದರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೋಮಾ, ಇಟ್ ಸ್ನಿಫ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವರ್ಬ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದ ಅರೋಮಾ ಇಸ್ ಅ ನೌನ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಘಮ ಅಂತ. ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಘಮ ಅದು? ಫುಡ್ಡಿನ ಘಮ ಅಂತ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಫುಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅರೋಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅರೋಮಾ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫುಡ್ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫುಡ್. ವಿತ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಮುಂದೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಟಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್, ನಾಲಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊರಗೆ ತೆಗೆದು ಅದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾಯಿ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಡಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಡಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಗ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಎಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಇದನ್ನು, ಡಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಪೊಸೆಸಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ ಇದು. ಈಗ ಹಿ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಡಾಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಹಿಸ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಡಾಗ್ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡಾಗ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಂತೆಂಥ ವರ್ಡ್ಗಳಂತಂದರೆ ಹಿಸ್, ಹರ್, ದೇರ್, ಈ ಶಬ್ದಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಪಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅಪಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಎಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಸ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡಾಗ್ಸ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್. ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿಟ್ ದೇರ್. ನೋಡಿ ದೇರ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ತಾನೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಡೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಿಚನ್. ಅವ್ನು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ನಾಯಿ ಕಿಚನ್ ಡೋರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದೇರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಿಚನ್ ಡೋರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಿಚನ್ ಡೋರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಇದು. ಉಳಿದದ್ದು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದೇನಷ್ಟು ಚಿಂತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೂ, ವಿಚ್, ವೆನ್, ಫೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅದ್ರ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆನೇ ಅದ್ರ ಉತ್ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ವಿಚ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿವಿ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ವಿಚ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಅಥವಾ ದಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಈಗ ಫೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ವೇರ್, ವೆನ್, ವೈ, ಹೌ ಅಂತೇನು ಇವುಗಳು ಬಂದಾಗ, WH ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆನೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಕಡೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಿ, ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಹಿಸ್, ಹರ್, ದೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಪಾಸ್ಟ್ರೋಫಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಕಂಟೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇ ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ದು ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಫಾಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುವು, ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. So Sunday Morning is a play. It is a tragedy which has a comic touch. A comic touch is given to this tragedy. So ಎರಡೂ ಇದೆ ಇದರೊಳಗೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಡಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಟ್ರಾಜಿ ಕಾಮಿಡಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಟಾಗೋನಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು? ಡಾನ್ ಗೊಂಜಾಲೋ and Donna Lara. These are the central characters. Then there are two servants here. For Lara it is Petra. Petra is the servant, and here it is Gianetto. So these two are the servants. Now there is a sunny morning. That means morning when the sunshine is there, sun is bright. So normally people come out of their house to enjoy the warmth of the sunny morning. So therefore these two who are about 70 years old, these two are of 70 years old, they come to the park. First we see that Lara along with her maid Petra, they enter the park. So she sits at a bench and she sees that Petra is looking here and there. Her mind is somewhere else. That means she was seeking to go to her boyfriend. So the guard of that park was her boyfriend. So she was looking for him. And then she understands that, Lara understands that, and Lara permits her with the conditions. That is two conditions. One, that she should be in the vicinity, that is audible distance, within the audible distance. And second is that she should not go more than 10 minutes. Like that she gives warning and she sends her. So before going she asks her to give the breadcrumbs which have been brought. So she takes the breadcrumbs and then she starts feeding the pigeons. So pigeons come in large number when she starts feeding them. Okay, breadcrumbs. When she was pouring that, these pigeons started coming, these birds started coming. So there is a soliloquy. She is only talking to herself. There is some, it's not quite important for your writing the answers, so I will skip that. The next is there are certain comic situations here. So that you have to remember now. What are those things? So first, when he comes, it is the man who starts attacking. Of course, it is first one is not audible to her. He says people should, that means by seeing her he says they should not come to park, they should go to, they should be at home knitting and counting the beads. That's what he says, but it is not audible, so she doesn't listen to it. Then that means there is a comment. Then he looks for his bench that was occupied by 3 priests. Therefore it was not vacant there. Normally he comes and sits there. Whenever he comes, he sits there. Therefore he thinks that it is his bench. So he has made it his bench. So now it has become his own bench. So he is telling his servant Gianetto to rout them out. Rout them out means to send them out from there. But the boy comes and he tells, no sir, they are sitting, they are talking, so there is no hope of they're living from that place. So you have to make arrangement, that is you have to sit here only, share this bench with this lady. That is what he suggests. But first he doesn't agree to this. He says, no, I want a bench to myself. Then when it is not possible, that means there is no vacant bench, then he says to himself that he has to resign. Resign here means to compromise. There is no other go, so he has to compromise now. Therefore, he just sits by the side. That means she shares the bench. When he sits there, suddenly she asks, you should have taken permission to sit on this bench. Then he says, suddenly it comes to him to say that the benches here are the public property. But you see, just before a little while, he had said that it was his bench. That means that the particular bench where 3 priests were sitting, that was his bench. See, this is how it is a double standard. Now this evokes laughter. So a question is normally asked, what are the ironies here in this play? Ironies. So this is one of the ironies. What is that? He is telling something, but in practice it is something different. So one side he says that it is his own bench, one bench belongs to him, but in another instance, when he has to tell this to the woman, that time he says that it belongs to the public. So this is the irony. Then he sits there, and before sitting he says good morning. So when he says good morning, but she is not accepting that good morning. That means she is not reciprocating with a good morning. Normally it is done, but he doesn't do it. Then she says, "Do you here again?" Then he says, "Good morning should I was only meeting you." Then good morning should be told by good morning. That means reciprocal should be good morning. Then how you are attacking, and then there is a small conversation between them. He sits there and takes out his handkerchief. When he takes out his handkerchief, because he was suffering from gout. So gout is a disease by which a man cannot walk normally. So your people limp when they walk. So as he is limping, he drags his feet while he walks. So that raises the dust. She comments this one, okay, to the audience. That means his dragging of the feet raises more dust than a carriage. So it is a comment passed by her. And when he says, when she objects that he is wiping out the dust with a kerchief, then he says, why not? Then she asks, it means, do you use your shoe brush to wipe your face? And suddenly he is struck. Therefore, he has to defend now. This lady has been attacking and he had to defend. So while defending, he says that he doesn't want to talk more. So he can do, and she laughs at it. And then he takes out a pinch of snuff, because it is his habit. So he takes out that snuff, and he believes that the lady may also have the habit of taking this. So there goes and offers, would you like to have a pinch of snuff? Then she says, if it is good. Then he says, this is the finest one. Then she takes a pinch of snuff and puts in the nostrils. So there, and she says she sneezes 3 times whenever she takes the snuff. And even he also sneezes 3 times whenever he takes. So that means there is some understanding between them. There is something common in them. What is that common thing? After taking the snuff, sneezing 3 times is a common between them. Now, at this point, they agree to one thing at least, that is, there is something common in them, and here they become friends. Okay, after because he is offering fine quality of snuff. So now they become friendly. One more question it is asked. What made the friendship between these two? Snuff makes the friendship between these two. Okay. Then after that, then he wants to read something there. He has brought a book. So he asks his servant Giovanetto to give the book. And then now already he has become a friend. He asks if he could read loudly. That means he is asking a permission whether he can read it loudly, because he enjoys reading loudly, because that is a book of poems. Then she says, as loud as he feels. That is, she has no objection. He could read. But when he was about to read, he takes out the enormous, that means very big one, spectacles, and he puts on. And apart from that, he takes out his magnifying glass also. So he sets it while for reading. This makes her very much laughing. That is, it evokes laughter. It evokes some comic scene. So suddenly she passes the comment. Whenever she gets some point, she definitely attacks him. Then she says, his eyes are very keen. That means just it is called taunting. There are more taunts in this. So she taunts. It's not a straight telling. They're telling in a different way. So she taunts at him that his eyesight is very keen. Keen in the sense very strong and very nice. Actually, it is the opposite. Because see, such a big glasses he uses. Then along with that, he uses even the magnifying glass also. That means his eyesight is so very poor, so bad it is. But she says it is very keen. Keen means very strong. Good eyesight. But he doesn't understand her telling. Maybe he has little understood, and for that he has to defend now. He defends that he is a good hunter. So for that he says that he had been hunting for a long time, and now also he is hunting. That means at the age of 70 also, he takes his gun and goes to the nearby forest and hunts there. That means he is boasting that his eyesight is good, because a hunter is supposed to have very good eyesight. So he boasts that it is very good eyesight he has, and therefore he tells that he goes. But one mistake he does while telling that sentence. He says that every weekends he goes there and kills time. So he uses the word kill time. So this again gives another opportunity for her to attack him. What is that? He says, oh, you don't kill animals, you kill only time. Then he is offended, because now he is in a fix because of this phrase kill time. That's all you kill. Then somehow he has to defend himself. Then he says, no, I am a good hunter, I don't kill time, I really kill animals only. You come and ask, you go and ask in the forest the partridges, hares and partridges. That means partridge is a kind of a bird. So you go and ask those animals Because they know that I am a good hunter. Of course, that is simply to say nobody can go and ask, and neither they are going to reply. Then she says, and he also says that if she comes to his home, he can show a wild boar's head. Wild boar's head. This means that in olden days, when people used to go for hunting, they used to cut the neck, up to the neck, they used to, that means head portion, and take out all that inside, muscles and all, and then put something, stuffing we say, they used to stuff it and put some marbles in the eye holes, and then they used to put them on or fix them on the wall to show that it is hunted by them. They were good hunters, and it is a matter of pride. Therefore, he says that if she goes to her home, she would show that wild boar's head. Then again she gets one more chance for attacking him. Then she says, you come to my house, I will show you a tiger's skin in my border. Border means their women's room, living room. So if you come there, I would show the tiger skin. That means mere presence of a wild boar's head or tiger's skin is not a proof that he or she is a very good hunter. It might have been bought by someone, isn't it? Purchased one. So you could purchase and keep it in your house. Therefore she says that he is not a good hunter. That's what she wanted to say. So up to this time he was defending, then he has nothing to say. Then he says, no more talking, let me read. Then he starts reading once again. Now whatever I have told, these are the comic scenes. These are the comic scenes. So sometimes they ask the question to write the comic scenes, whatever you come across in this. So you have to write these comic scenes one after another. Okay, that answer you can find in my blog. I have written nicely. You can just go through and you can answer them in the examination. For 4 marks it is asked. Okay, now he starts reading that book. So there are some poems in that. And now he wants to say that he was a kind of a poet. He was also a poet, and he has good friendship with the renowned poets. Again, it is only boosting. He may not be that. Now he is using some names here. Those names are mainly you have to remember this name, Campamore. So one of the famous poets of that time, that is so Campamore is the name. Okay, this man, he says that he had been his friend, and he met him when he was very young, and he met him in Valencia. This is a point of departure now, Valencia. So when he utters this word Valencia, because he met him there, here is a turning point. So what is a turning point? Valencia was a place where these two characters lived there. So by the side of this Valencia, there was Marisela. Marisela was a villa, that is a bungalow, where Lara Laurent, her full name was Lara Laurent. So Lara Laurent was a beautiful maid who was staying in Marisela, that is bungalow near Valencia. So here, and this man, Don Gonzalo, was young at that time. He was a gallant man, and he was there in Valencia that time. So these two were the lovers at that time. Both loved each other there. So when he hears this, she hears this, and she also says about the presence of Lara Laurent. But one thing very important here is that they do not tell the truth. They hide the truth. They conceal the truth that they are the characters. That means they were there in Valencia. But instead, they concoct a story. That means they make the stories, false stories they make. We use the word concoct. Concocting a story, or fabricating a story, or simply making a story. So a false story is made by both of them. Now, actually what had happened, first I will tell you. When they were in love, so she used to wait for him at the window of her room, and this man used to go on horseback. So while going, he would give her roses, and while coming back, she would give him the flowers. So this was only love. Okay, only this much. And this was going on for some times. They were in love with, but Lara Laurent's parents wanted her to marry someone else, that is a wealthy merchant. Now already engagement also is over, and this fiancé, the merchant, once catch them talking. Catch them there itself. She was in the window, she was at the window, and this man was standing there, and she was singing something and he was listening, only this much. But it offends him. He is offended by this closeness of these two. Then he comes and he abuses him, he scolds him, abuses him, and finally he challenges him for a duel. Duel is the fight between only two persons in a deserted place. That means nobody should come and interfere. Only two should go. That, see here, immediately there itself fighting did not start. That is a beauty here. So he calls him for a duel the next day. So they go to the beach. There was a beach. They go to the beach and they start fighting there. So once a challenge is given, it has to be accepted. So in that sense, Don Gonzalo accepts his challenge, and there is a fierce fight between those two. Even that man also was very healthy and very good at fighting, but Don Gonzalo was better than him. Then afterwards, this wealthy merchant, young wealthy merchant, was badly wounded, and he falls down there. Then it comes to Gonzalo's mind, what would happen afterwards? That is the consequences. He thinks about the consequences. So he fears, because they are very powerful people there. So it is very difficult to take on them. Then he runs away from there. Up to here, this is truth. This has happened. But from here, now these two are concocting stories. They are making false stories. Because they don't want to reveal that they are the same person. That means Don Gonzalo knows that he was the man who was there. He was the lover, gallant lover, and he was the man who fought. He was the man who ran away from that place. But he doesn't want to tell her, and he has already come to know. He has already come to know that this is the same woman who was there. But he doesn't want to tell the true story. So what is that true story? True story was that just after the departure, he waits for some time and he gets one ballet dancer. He falls in love with her and he elopes with her just after 3 or 4 months. He doesn't wait for long. But what story he concocts, you observe now. He says that his cousin, that means he is telling the story to Lara, now old Lara, that the young Gonzalo was his cousin, and he told all these stories afterwards. So after fleeing the place, that is Valencia, then he comes to Seville, and then from Seville, after staying 2 or 3 days there, and to Madrid. And afterwards he wrote several letters, some of them in verses, but there was no reply from Lara. So according to him, as she has not given any reply, this shows that she was the letters were intercepted by her parents. ಅವರು ಯಾರು ಲೆಟ್ರನ್ನು ಆಕೆ ಲೆಟ್ರನ್ನು ಆಕೆಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So he waits for a year or so, and then when he comes to know that he will not get her back again in his life, it's not at all possible, because he knew that after some times she would be married, and then she would go off. So he did not wait, or he did not think that she would come back. Therefore he takes a decision of joining army. So he goes and joins Spanish army, and then from there he is taken as a soldier, he is taken to Africa, where he had to fight. Then when the battle was going on, that time he was there in the trench. Okay, he was fighting there, and he was wounded, I think so, and he had flag in his hand, Spanish flag in his hand, and he says that at last he was taking only the name of Lara. So here, how is it possible when a person who took the name of Lara and he dies there, how will he come and tell him about the last scene? Not at all possible. So it is an atrocious lie. She comes to know that it is an atrocious lie. He is making a story out of it. So he says that he held the Spanish flag and took her name, Lara, and he died. So this was a concocted story. And she is not less in this. She is not far behind. She also concocts such a story. Her story is like this. So when this man fled from that place, ಅಂದರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಓಡಿ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೂ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಯ್ತಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ದಿನ ಕಾಯ್ತಾಳೆ, ಲೆಟರ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೆರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋ ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ಡ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ he had told, maybe it is true, 1 or 2 letters he might have written, but she did not receive those letters because they were intercepted by the parents. And as she did not receive anything, any message, no communication, in that case she simply leaves the place and goes towards the beach where these two fought, that place. So after going there, she writes the name on the sand, Gonzalo, because she was loving him so much. She wanted to say that she was a devoted lover. Both of them wanted to say that they were devoted lover, model lovers. That is a problem. That's how they are concocting the stories. Stories ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗಿಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಿದೆ. ಗಿಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಪರಾಧಿ ಮನೋಭಾವ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಗಿಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು? ಯಾಕೆ ಗಿಲ್ಟ್ ಬಂತು ಅವರಿಗೆ? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿಲ್ಟಿ. ವೈ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಗಿಲ್ಟಿ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸೆಟ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ ಮಾಡೆಲ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಲೈಲಾ ಮಜ್ನು, ರೋಮಿಯೋ ಜೂಲಿಯಟ್ ಥರ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಜೀವ ಕೊಡುವಂಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಲವರ್ಸು ಅಂತ. ಆ ಥರ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದೇ ಬೇರೆ. ದ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ? ಇಬ್ಬರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಯಾರು ಏನು ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಶೋ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ಡ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಐರನಿ, ಬಿಗ್ ಐರನಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಗ್ರೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಐರನಿ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ ಅಲೈವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಡೆತ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ತಾವು ಸತ್ತಿದ್ದು, ತಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಸತ್ವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವನು ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಈಕೆ ನೋಡಿ ಓದ್ಲಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆನ್ ಅ ರಾಕ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೀಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ವೇವ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟುಕ್ ಹರ್ ಅವೇ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸಿ. ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಅಲೆ ಬಂದು ಎಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಆವತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ಆಕೆ ಕಾಣೆಯಾದಳು, ಅಂದರೆ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಲು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಡೆವೋಟೆಡ್ ಲವರ್ಸ್. ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಡೆವೋಟೆಡ್ ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರು, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಾಂಕಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್, ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್, ಲೈಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂದರೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಂದಿರೋದು ನಿಜ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ದಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್. ನೋ at this stage, one question is normally asked. The title, A Sunny Morning, how apt it is. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಈ ಪ್ಲೇಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಆಗ ಈ ಸದ್ಯ ಇದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಹಳ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಪೋಲೆಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ರ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಏನಿದಾವಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ರಷ್ಯಾ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸಿ ಸನ್. ಯಾವತ್ತೋ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಸ್ಕೈಯೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆ ವಾಮ್ತ್, ಆ ಬಿಸಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅವರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಸನ್ನಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಕಂಫರ್ಟ್, ವಾಮ್ತ್, ಅದು ವಾಮ್ತನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಖುಷಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ, ಈ ಕಥೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ನಾವು ದೀಸ್ ಟು ವೇರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲವರ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಲವ್ಡ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೆರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಇಬ್ಬರು ದೂರ ದೂರ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಬಟ್ ಲವ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದೇರ್, ಲವ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದೇರ್. ಒಬ್ರಿಗೊಬ್ಬರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಲವ್ ಇದೆ. But now after a very long time, now they are alone in their life. Ibru alone ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈಗ. Now they have met. So this meeting now has become a sunny morning to them. That means it has given a new lease of life. ಹೊಸದೊಂದು ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Because now from now onwards they can again love each other. That means the renewing of the love, which will give them so good feelings, nice feeling. ಲವ್ ಯಾವುದರಾಗಲಿ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಲವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಏನಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇವನ್ at the old age also, respect for each other and love for each other, these are all very good. They give us good feelings. Therefore now as they will get a new life, or revised, you can say revised love life once again, therefore it is a sunny morning for them. That means a new life once again, new day which can give warmth to them. So their love once again is going to give them a warmth. Therefore you can say sunny morning is very apt here. So this is the story of it, and because it's a bigger one, I think you have got all the ideas now. Go through once all the question and answers which are there in my blog. ಬ್ಲಾಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ 4 out of 4 ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರೀರಿ. The blog is my name with K, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, with k.blogspot.com ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 6 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ, ಇದನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹಾಕೋದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ 6 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ PDF ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ let me close it here and meet you tomorrow at the same time, in the sense 12 noon. Okay, thank you for being with me, and tomorrow there will be 3 lessons I'll take, because this has been a big one. Tomorrow I will take 3 units at a time. Okay, thank you once again. Bye.